I'm not sure about you, but personally, I have been pondering this question for quite some time now. What if we found alien life tomorrow? If you think that we're alone in this universe, well, there are over 100 billion Earth-like planets out there. And so there should be life elsewhere. And if there is life elsewhere, then there definitely must be intelligent life elsewhere. Well, what happens when we make first contact? This is what we would do, according to experts. First things first, they would check their equipment. Before making any conclusions or taking any actions, experts believe that the first thing anyone would do after confirming that we are not alone in the universe would be to check their equipment. It makes sense because such an event would be so shocking and unbelievable that it would take some time for people to absorb the fact. After all, if you saw a UFO land outside your house, you wouldn't just walk up to it. You would probably check the locks on your doors and windows, check your phone for reception, check your laptop to see if you can get a live feed of the UFO, and so on. So yeah, they would first check their equipment. Then they would try to establish communication. Once everyone has checked their equipment and double, even triple-checked that everything is working properly, the next step would be trying to establish communication with the aliens. Of course, if the aliens approached us first, then they would already have established communication by then. But if we were the ones who discovered the aliens, then we would be the ones who would have to figure out a way to communicate with them. Scientists have suggested using radio waves to communicate with aliens for decades. In fact, scientists at Jodrell Bank Observatory in Manchester have already prepared a radio message that will be beamed into space towards the nearest star system in the hope of making first contact. However, whether or not this method would work remains to be seen. Experts have also suggested creating a universal language that could help us communicate our peaceful intentions to the aliens. The most important thing here would be for us to show them that we are friendly. And for that, we would need to make sure that our body language is friendly too. It's going to be very important for us to know how to properly present ourselves to the aliens. Would we send them a video of Mr. Beast or Willy Wonka? Perhaps we should send them something more symbolic of humanity, like the image of an Earth without war. It's hard to say. And before making first contact, we would need to decide who would make first contact. There are over 7 billion humans on Earth, yet only a handful of them would actually get the opportunity to meet aliens. But who exactly are these people? Will they be chosen based on their popularity? Will we send the richest man, Elon Musk, to talk to the aliens? Will we send the smartest man, Stephen Hawking, to talk to the aliens? Or will we send a team of experts comprising biologists, astronomers, and sociologists? The truth is, we don't really know who would be worthy enough to represent humanity. And that's something that we would have to decide before making first contact. Experts also believe that we would need to assemble a group of individuals from different walks of life who would be tasked with figuring out what to do once we make first contact. Of course, this is just speculation, but if we were to follow this course of action, it would mean that we would have a much better chance of handling the situation. Whether we like it or not, making first contact with aliens would be one of the most important events in human history. And so it should come as no surprise that we would need a team of experts to handle it. They would consist of scientists, diplomats, theologians, and historians, among others. The group would be responsible for developing a strategy for interacting with the extraterrestrials and would likely include representatives from various countries. Given the potentially historic nature of the event, it would likely be a summit much like never before. If the aliens did approach us first, then these experts would be the ones to welcome them. But what if we discover the aliens first? Well, if we find alien life on a planet near our own, we may be able to study it from afar. But if we find alien life on a planet far, far away, then it's going to be impossible for us to physically reach them. This means that our only option would be to send a spaceship to their planet. But which spaceship? And more importantly, who would be on board the spaceship? If the aliens are close enough, then maybe we can use one of our most advanced spaceships, like the Orion. This spacecraft was designed by NASA and Lockheed Martin. It can travel 20 times faster than the speed of light. But even if it can do that, it would still take millions of years to reach the aliens. So yeah, traveling to distant planets would be out of the question. Unless we find a way to travel faster than the speed of light, The most viable option for us would be to simply observe the aliens from afar. We would need to launch a telescope into space that would be powerful enough to see through the aliens' planet and spy on them. With this method, we would be able to learn a lot about the aliens, their technology, their lifestyle, etc. And based on what we learn, we would then decide how to proceed further. After making first contact, we would need to decide whether or not to reveal ourselves. As mentioned earlier, the most important thing to remember here would be to remain calm. Revealing ourselves could be dangerous, especially if we don't know the aliens' intentions. But hiding ourselves would mean missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to expand our knowledge. So it's going to be a tough call. But what if they're hostile? It's a scary thought, but it's one that we need to prepare for. In the event of a hostile takeover, we would need to activate our defense systems and get ready to fight. Of course, we don't know how advanced their technology would be, but we do know that we would need to do whatever it takes to protect our planet and its inhabitants. Maybe we would need to ask for help from other galaxies, or maybe we would need to join forces with the aliens in order to fight a common enemy. Who knows? But what if they're friendly? Now this is something that we can all get behind. If the aliens turn out to be friendly, then we would need to decide whether or not to invite them to Earth. This would be a tough call because we don't know anything about their intentions. But it could also be a great opportunity to learn from a more advanced civilization. Ultimately, it would be up to us to decide what to do. The search for extraterrestrial life is one of the most exciting endeavors that humanity has ever undertaken. And who knows, maybe we will make first contact with aliens sooner than we think. But when that day comes, we need to be prepared. We need to know how to react if they're hostile or if they're friendly. And most importantly, we need to be ready to answer the ultimate question: are we alone in the universe? Let us know what you think would happen if we were to find alien life tomorrow. Be sure to check out more videos on our channel and subscribe for more updates.